Gentlemen, let's be honest with ourselves. How many nights this past week did you wake up at 2, 3, even 4 in the morning, dragging yourself to the bathroom? You stand there exhausted, waiting for that weak, slow stream, then return to bed wide awake. Your night's rest already gone. This isn't a small nuisance. For millions of American men over 60, it has become an accepted routine. But the truth is, it's quietly stealing more than you realize. Your confidence, your energy, and your sense of manhood. What worries most men isn't just the struggle to urinate, but the silent fear behind it. Could this be a sign of cancer? Or have I truly lost control of my own body? Statistics show that more than half of men over 60 have an enlarged prostate. But behind that number are millions of sleepless nights, millions of worried looks from wives, and millions of men silently suffering. I'm Dr. Richard. For over 30 years, I've worked with thousands of men across America, from veterans, factory workers, and engineers, to fathers and grandfathers, helping them restore their health, confidence, and vitality, even well past 60. I've seen the frustration in their eyes, but I've also witnessed the remarkable turnaround when they found the right solution. And here's the surprising truth. Calming the prostate and getting back your comfort doesn't always require prescriptions, surgery, or risky supplements. Sometimes, the answer is far simpler, found in the humble nuts you can pick up at any grocery store. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 powerful nuts that have transformed the lives of many of my patients, the science behind them, real stories, and how you can start using them tomorrow. Stay with me until the end, because I'll also reveal one simple morning habit that can make these nuts work even faster than you might think. Nut number 1, pumpkin seeds. Over the years, I've often encouraged my patients to start with pumpkin seeds. They're small, easy to find, but the results go far beyond what most men expect. This isn't some folk remedy. It's something I've seen work again and again for men over 60. One of my patients, a 67-year-old retired police officer from Texas, struggled with an enlarged prostate. Every night he was up 5 or 6 times, standing there for minutes just to squeeze out a few drops. He had tried medication, but the dizziness and loss of desire made him quit. I suggested he try raw pumpkin seeds, soaked overnight, about 2 tablespoons in the morning. Within a week, his nightly trips dropped to 3. By the 3rd week, he was sleeping 6 straight hours, something he hadn't experienced in years. Another man, 72, a truck driver from Ohio, told me every long haul felt like torture. He couldn't go an hour without needing to pull over. At night, he was up 7 times, leaving him exhausted in the morning. I advised him to add about 40 grams of unsalted, dry-roasted pumpkin seeds each day. Within 10 days, he was down to 2 or 3 trips a night. After a month, he felt confident enough to take long drives again, and his wife happily told me she was finally getting a full night's sleep too. I also remember a retired teacher from California, age 65, who kept a detailed health journal. For 6 months, his notes showed an average of 5 nightly trips to the bathroom. After adding soaked pumpkin seeds to breakfast and a few more in the afternoon, within 4 weeks the number dropped to 2. He told me, "For the first time in years, I can stay up late reading and go to bed without worrying about the bathroom." Pumpkin seeds are rich in zinc, a mineral the prostate relies on to stay balanced. Low zinc makes the gland more prone to inflammation and enlargement. They're also packed with beta-sitosterol, a plant compound that helps block the conversion of testosterone into DHT, the hormone that drives prostate growth. The magnesium in pumpkin seeds relaxes the bladder muscles, easing that constant urge to go. For men who eat them daily, the changes are clear. Fewer nighttime trips, a stronger flow, deeper sleep, and most importantly, a renewed sense of control over their own bodies, something many thought they had lost with age. So how should you eat them? The best way is raw, soaked in water for 6 to 8 hours overnight to remove phytates, then about 2 tablespoons in the morning. If soaking isn't your style, unsalted dry roasted seeds also work. Just avoid the sugary or heavily salted versions. Some of my patients noticed even faster results when eating them on an empty stomach, right after a glass of warm water in the morning. A small daily habit like this, kept consistently, can make a big difference over time. Nut number 2. Pecans. Most people think of pecans only as an ingredient in holiday pies, but when used the right way, pecans are one of the most nutrient-dense nuts that can help men over 60 better manage their prostate health. One of my patients, Martin, 72, a retired school principal from Georgia, told me he was waking up at least 4 times every night to use the bathroom. By day, he no longer had the energy to read or go for walks like he used to. I suggested he replace his afternoon snack with a handful of raw pecans, about 20 halves. After 4 weeks, Martin reported he was only waking once or twice a night, felt more clear-headed, and was able to enjoy reading again in the evenings. Another man, Stephen, 68, a former construction engineer from Colorado, loved working out, but had lost his motivation because of urgent urination and frequent night trips. Once he added pecans to his diet, within 6 weeks he noticed a stronger stream and no longer had to interrupt his workouts to run to the bathroom. Smiling, Stephen told me, "I feel like I've got my 50-year-old body back. My own body isn't holding me back anymore." I also recall Richard, 70, a gardener from Kentucky. He was hesitant to change his diet, but constant broken sleep left him exhausted. He finally gave pecans a try, eating about 18 halves daily. Within a month, he felt lighter. His nighttime bathroom visits were cut in half, and his overall health improved. What made him happiest, he said, was being able to spend longer, uninterrupted hours in his garden. Pecans are rich in beta-sitosterol, a compound that reduces the conversion of testosterone into DHT, the hormone that causes the prostate to enlarge. They're also loaded with natural antioxidants that protect prostate tissue from free radical damage. And thanks to their monounsaturated fats, pecans support heart health and improve blood flow to the pelvic region, easing pressure on the prostate and allowing for a smoother stream. Men who eat pecans regularly report fewer nighttime trips, stronger flow, and most importantly, a return to comfort in daily life. Whether it's exercising, gardening, or simply enjoying a full night's rest, pecans give them back the feeling of living fully again. Many people assume pecans are only for desserts, but the simplest way is to eat them raw or lightly roasted without salt. A good daily serving is about 18 to 20 halves, ideally in the afternoon as a substitute for sugary snacks. Choose pecans in the shell when possible, and avoid the buttered or candied versions. Store them in a glass jar in a cool, dry place, or keep them in the fridge to prevent the oils from turning rancid. Eaten consistently, pecans are more than a tasty nut. They're a quiet ally for a healthier prostate and deeper, uninterrupted sleep. Nut number 3, walnuts. Among all the nuts, walnuts stand out for one special reason. They don't just support the prostate, they also improve heart health, brain function, and even male vitality. Many of my patients think of them as a bridge that helps the body run smoothly again. I had a patient, Leonard, 68, a former mechanic from Pennsylvania. He came to me because he was waking up 5 times a night, struggling each time with a weak, interrupted flow. He also complained that his memory wasn't as sharp. He kept forgetting little things. I suggested he try a small handful of walnuts each day, about 6 pieces in the afternoon instead of his usual sweets. After 4 weeks, Leonard came back smiling. I'm sleeping better, thinking clearer, and my wife says I even look healthier. Another man, William, 70, a retired bus driver in New York, told me he wasn't just suffering from frequent night trips, but also from feeling sluggish and drained of energy. I recommended he combine walnuts with fruit each day to boost antioxidant absorption. After 6 weeks, William reported he was down to just 2 nightly bathroom trips, felt less tired during the day, and his mood was brighter. He told me, I never imagined a nut could impact both my health and my marriage like this. I also remember Harold, 65, a former serviceman from Nevada. He wasn't a big believer in natural remedies, but after dealing with too many side effects from medication, he decided to give walnuts a chance. Each afternoon, he ate a handful of raw walnuts. After 5 weeks, he told me the biggest difference was how much smoother the flow felt, and intimacy with his wife was no longer a problem. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 ALA fatty acids, which improve blood flow and reduce inflammation throughout the body, including the prostate. Antioxidants like ellagic acid and polyphenols protect prostate cells from free radical damage, slowing the aging process. By improving endothelial function, walnuts also enhance circulation to the pelvic region, supporting both urinary health and sexual performance. Nut number 4, almonds. If walnuts are known for their omega-3s, almonds are what I like to call a quiet source of energy for men over 60. Small, easy to eat, but packed with vitamin E and magnesium, 2 key nutrients that calm inflammation in the prostate and help the bladder muscles relax. One of my patients, Patrick, 66, a retired postal worker from Oregon, came to me frustrated. He was waking up 4 or 5 times a night, and during the day he never felt like his bladder was truly empty. On top of that, he admitted he was often irritable. I told him to start eating about 12 almonds each morning, soaked overnight and peeled. After just 3 weeks, Patrick reported he was only getting up twice at night, and his mood had evened out. He wasn't snapping at people anymore. Then there was Daniel, 70, a farmer from Iowa. A lifetime of physical work had left him feeling weaker with age. He came in tired, restless at night, and bothered by frequent urination. I advised him to replace his usual salty cold cuts at lunch with a salad topped with almonds. A month later, Daniel looked brighter, told me he was sleeping more soundly, had better stamina, and his urine stream was no longer weak. I also remember Franklin, 73, a retired piano player from New Jersey. He confessed that what he feared most was the constant feeling of not being done, forcing him back to the bathroom multiple times in one evening. I suggested he swap out his afternoon cookies for a handful of almonds. After 5 weeks, Franklin told me, I don't have to get up in the middle of practicing anymore. I feel free again in my own home. Almonds are loaded with vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that shields prostate cells from oxidative damage. Magnesium relaxes the bladder muscles, reducing that frustrating sense of incomplete emptying. And the healthy fats and plant protein in almonds help balance hormones and provide steady energy, keeping men strong and mentally sharp. Men who make almonds a daily habit usually notice 3 big changes: fewer nighttime trips, a calmer mood, and more stable overall health. Many tell me it feels like they've regained their natural rhythm of life, no longer controlled by their prostate. To get the most out of almonds, preparation matters. Choose fresh, plain almonds. Avoid salted or sugar-coated ones. The best method is to soak them in water for 6 to 8 hours, peel off the brown skin, and eat about 10 to 12 each day. They can be eaten in the morning with breakfast or as an afternoon snack instead of sweets. Store almonds in an airtight container, in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. When used the right way, Almonds don't just support prostate health. They provide a steady source of energy that carries you through the day. Nut number 5, Brazil nuts. Over the years, I've often encouraged my patients to start with pumpkin seeds. They're small, easy to find, but the results go far beyond what most men expect. This isn't some folk remedy. It's something I've seen work again and again for men over 60. One of my patients, a 67-year-old retired police officer from Texas, struggled with an enlarged prostate. Every night he was up 5 or 6 times, standing there for minutes just to squeeze out a few drops. He had tried medication, but the dizziness and loss of desire made him quit. I suggested he try raw pumpkin seeds, soaked overnight, about 2 tablespoons in the morning. Within a week, his nightly trips dropped to 3. By the 3rd week, he was sleeping 6 straight hours, something he hadn't experienced in years. Another man, 72, a truck driver from Ohio, told me every long haul felt like torture. He couldn't go an hour without needing to pull over. At night, he was up 7 times, leaving him exhausted in the morning. I advised him to add about 40 grams of unsalted, dry-roasted pumpkin seeds each day. Within 10 days, he was down to 2 or 3 trips a night. After a month, he felt confident enough to take long drives again, and his wife happily told me she was finally getting a full night's sleep too. I also remember a retired teacher from California, age 65, who kept a detailed health journal. For 6 months, his notes showed an average of 5 nightly trips to the bathroom. After adding soaked pumpkin seeds to breakfast and a few more in the afternoon, within 4 weeks the number dropped to 2. He told me, "For the first time in years, I can stay up late reading and go to bed without worrying about the bathroom." Pumpkin seeds are rich in zinc, a mineral the prostate relies on to stay balanced. Low zinc makes the gland more prone to inflammation and enlargement. They're also packed with beta-sitosterol, a plant compound that helps block the conversion of testosterone into DHT, the hormone that drives prostate growth. The magnesium in pumpkin seeds relaxes the bladder muscles, easing that constant urge to go. For men who eat them daily, the changes are clear. Fewer nighttime trips, a stronger flow, deeper sleep, and most importantly, a renewed sense of control over their own bodies, something many thought they had lost with age. So how should you eat them? The best way is raw, soaked in water for 6 to 8 hours overnight to remove phytates, then about 2 tablespoons in the morning. If soaking isn't your style, unsalted dry-roasted seeds also work. Just avoid the sugary or heavily salted versions. Some of my patients noticed even faster results when eating them on an empty stomach, right after a glass of warm water in the morning. A small daily habit like this, kept consistently, can make a big difference over time. How to apply it safely. After understanding the science and hearing real stories, the most important part is turning knowledge into action. Men over 60 don't need to change everything at once. What works best is a steady path, one step at a time. First, choose the nut that matches your condition. If you wake up multiple times at night with a weak stream, pumpkin seeds with their zinc and magnesium are the best starting point. If you worry about high PSA or prostate cancer risk, just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day can help. Walnuts are ideal if you want to support your prostate while also boosting heart and brain health. For fatigue, restless sleep, and irritability, almonds bring balance. And when urgency and daytime discomfort are the main issue, pecans are the right choice. Second, start small instead of trying all 5 at once. Pick 1 or 2 types that fit your needs. Stick with them for 3 or 4 weeks, and only then think about adding another. Small habits, repeated daily, will always outperform sudden big changes that fade quickly. Third, time them right. In the morning, pumpkin seeds or soaked almonds work best after a glass of warm water. At lunch, adding almonds or pecans to a salad instead of salty foods makes a real difference. In the afternoon, swap sweets for walnuts or pecans. And after dinner, one Brazil nut is enough to cover your selenium needs without being heavy on your stomach. Fourth, store and prepare them correctly. Oily nuts like walnuts, pecans, and Brazil nuts should be kept in airtight containers in the fridge or freezer, while almonds and pumpkin seeds only need a cool, dry place away from sunlight. Soaking almonds and pumpkin seeds overnight makes them easier to digest and increases vitamin absorption. Fifth, track your progress. Write down how often you wake up at night, how strong your flow feels, and how rested you are in the morning. After 3 or 4 weeks, compare with where you started. If you see improvements, keep going. If not, you can safely increase the amount slightly or add another nut. Sixth, remember that nuts work best when combined with a healthy lifestyle. A balanced diet, light exercise, limited alcohol, and enough sleep form the foundation for lasting prostate health. And seventh, stay consistent and trust the process. Nothing changes overnight, but the men who keep this habit day after day are the ones who come back to me smiling, telling me they're finally sleeping through the night, living fully again, and feeling like they've rolled back the clock by 10 or even 20 years. The real solution isn't in complexity, it's in consistency. Choose the right nut, eat it the right way, and stick with it. That's how you take back control of your body and the strength you thought was gone. Gentlemen, we've come a long way in this video. From sleepless nights, frustrating bathroom trips, and moments of self-doubt inside your own home, to the strength and confidence that return through simple, consistent habits. What I want you to remember is this: aging does not mean losing. It's simply a reminder that your body now needs smarter care. 5 simple nuts, pumpkin seeds, Brazil nuts, walnuts, almonds, and pecans, may look ordinary, but they've transformed the lives of countless men I've worked with. From Robert, who once feared his high PSA, to Leonard, the former mechanic who finally slept soundly again, to Franklin, the piano player who regained his freedom at home. All of them proved one thing: real change doesn't come from luck. It comes from daily action. You don't need expensive or complicated treatments. The true solution sits right in your kitchen, in small, consistent choices, and in the refusal to give up. When you choose the right nut, eat it the right way, and stick with it, you don't just improve your prostate, you regain your sleep, your clarity, your confidence, and most importantly, the feeling of being in control of your body again. Turning 60, 70, even 80 doesn't mean the end. It can be the beginning of a new chapter, one where manhood is redefined by wisdom and action. Don't let your prostate dim the light in your eyes or steal the warmth from family moments. Give your body the chance to recover. Now it's your turn to decide. Tomorrow, what snack will you choose? Another sugary pastry that weighs you down, or a handful of simple nuts that could change the quality of your life? That choice is in your hands. If you found this video helpful, share it with your friends or loved ones, men who might be silently struggling the same way you once did. Leave a comment below if there's a topic you'd like me to cover next, or a personal question you've been carrying. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss more essential knowledge for men's health after 60. Remember this: it is never too late to start. And with just a handful of nuts each day, you're planting the seeds of health, confidence, and strength back into your own life.